YouTube are going to be reacting to Across's video about the biggest cheater scandal in Destiny 2 history.
70% of Destiny 2's top contest mode clearing raid teams cheated. Is going to shock the piss out of you. This is the worst cheating I have ever seen ever. And I knew it was bad because the day before the raid even came out, there was someone running around Destiny with the new exotic rocket launcher. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Hey, what?
Someone cleared the raid before the raid even came out. They had the exotic rocket launcher before the raid was even supposed to be in our hands. This is the problem, everybody. And the numbers are going to speak for itself. It gets even worse. This is from Paul Tassi right here. As if Bungie needs to deal with any more Destiny 2 drama, player investigations have now revealed that among the limited number of contest clears for the insanely difficult Desert Perpetual raid last week, as many as 70% of the top 100 lists appear to have cheated. It seems too early to list dozens of specific teams here, as I've already seen at least a couple of false positives, but the provable ones, many are very, very obvious. These cheater clears are marked by certain publicly available data points, namely via activity, one person carrying with a lot of kills while the rest of the team barely has any. When we say barely has any, when you would look at the raid reports, and we're going to get into it in just a moment, there will be one person that has like 600 kills, right? Yet everyone else on the squad had like 1, 2, or 0 kills, which is impossible.
It's obvious.
And dude, look, the justification that I've seen online for this, someone tried to justify and be like, bro, no. That they were doing mechanics and the other guy was doing the ad clear. Get the fuck out of here, man. How in the world? The only people I see justifying this are people that were actually carried by this. And by the way, it's not just cheaters here. What happens is people will pay a cheater to carry their account through the raid so that they can have the emblem too, so they can then flex the emblem. All right, incredibly fast clear times, 10 to 20 minutes for these insanely hard sections that took legitimate teams hours. Dude, when you're seeing like 20-minute clears for an entire raid, bro, that's a dead giveaway. I mean, not even just the encounters. For the entire raid. Certain weapons like Lawrence Driver duality to help with raid limiting, some specific armor, blue rockets are among a few telltale signs. You see why? Like, I made a comment yesterday, like, dude, at this point, do we need like an AI anti-cheat? Because the current system ain't working, man. Endless heavy kills, new accounts that barely have any raid clears. Look at this. Look at this right here.
Oh my God.
Raid clear, 315 kills, 2 kills, 1 kill, 1, 0. Yet all of them will get the emblem and pretend. And by the way, this is resulting in everyone scrambling online. You've got people like this who paid for this stat for their
what are we doing here, Zavi?
And they're changing their names as if that's going to save them.
No good.
They're going out. They're doing the name change. They're trying to like hide themselves. They're changing their damn Twitter profiles.
Oh my God.
They're doing whatever they can to try to not get banned after this. Look, and it needs to happen. Bungie, you cannot go in here and be like, oh, well, these guys weren't cheating. It was just this guy with the hacks on. No, you need to hit everybody. Everybody needs to get a crispy ban. This is a mess.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. I agree that, you know, you slap the ban hammer on these guys. Essentially, if they're going out of their way to do that, you know, the name change and, you know, well, whatnot, I think they're just going to make a new account, unfortunately. But it's still a big deal that there's a big amount of attention on this topic because it's just unethical to do it in a day one raid. You know, in PvP, it happens all the time, but when it happens in a day one raid, that's when everyone's like, okay, this is not cool. But yeah, I think that them being very, you know, blunt and, you know, straightforward and direct with this situation is good on Bungie. That being said, I think people are going to just make new accounts, but we'll see.
Anything at this level with a contest rate clear ever. The only piece of good news is that it does not seem to involve well-known high-profile teams, including Rules First Team Nuts, their live stream clear being obviously legitimate. I'm gonna be honest, guys, the only, like, I'm not saying everyone needs to stream, but these days, that's like the only way I know how to verify, you know what I mean? Like, obviously Bungie has their systems, but having someone stream their gameplay, it's just like Twitch rival tournaments. You have to stream in order to even be in the tournament. And then that has to be screened after it's done. You can't just ban 300 people. That's half the player base. Let me tell you something. Like, Destiny player population.
What we're gonna do?
This
Just make
topic
people
for another
stream?
video. All right.
Low blow, one stream.
Low blow. I don't give a shit if it's 301 people left in this game. Ban the 300. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Oh,
ban
Cross wants it.
All of this
yes, Cross, let him know.
It's currently the talk of the entire Destiny community, which outside this is already struggling to accept the Edge of Fate expansion on its own merits. Bungie said nothing as of yet. At this point, I would at least put out a "we're investigating" tweet today. But this is yet another thing they're going to have to explain in terms of how this happened regarding this contest mode raid, as they're already looking into bugs, enemy health, and deltas. But we may know how this happened, at least to a certain extent. In its latest round of mass layoffs at Bungie, one of the teams affected heavily was player security, which, as you might be able to guess, are the ones who work toward catching and preventing cheaters like this. Not to say that that division doesn't exist at all now, but if you're wondering why this is happening at this moment, it certainly seems to fall in line with the timing of that. It seems likely that there will be a large purge of these cheaters at some point, given how obvious it is, but there's an additional layer on top of this, as it's not mandatory that everyone in a party is cheating. They are just playing with the cheater in order to get the clear. All of them should be banned as well, but that's not a guarantee. Dude, that right there. Let me say this. Bungie, you got to make an example right now. I'm saying it for the people that legitimately went in there and got their ass whooped for 48 hours straight. And of course, for the people that actually did succeed, but especially those people, man. Those people that went in there, legitimately got their ass whooped for 48 hours straight, some on the same damn boss. They made no progression. They were on the same damn boss. There should be no reason why any of these folks walk clear from this. Look, I'm a firm believer in shame. Shame is good, okay? Back in RuneScape.
He's right, man.
Yes, I'm bringing up another RuneScape story. If you got caught for cheating, you were then teleported to this area that was meant for just cheaters, and your body, you would be like, I don't know, you're like strapped to a pole, and people could sit there and throw fruit and tomatoes at you. Like that literally, you'd be sitting there high alching, and then you'll look over there and there's a cheater over there, and you're like, we got another one, boys. Everybody throw your shit. It was a great time. And let me just say this, Destiny needs this. We need a spot in the tower where if someone's caught cheating, their account gets transferred to that area. We see their name, there's a wall of shame. There needs to be a wall of shame. And throw something at them. I don't know. Throw hive shit. Now, if you completed the contest mode raid, stay in line, you may now find yourself moving way up the legitimate clears list or shooting into the top 100 or top 50. We're awaiting Bungie to say anything about this. Okay. So yeah, if you're looking at rankings right now and you legitimately cleared, it's a good chance your rankings are going to drop drastically. I think Gig says his ranking went from like rank 78 to like rank 26.
Oh my God.
Because of this.
That's
so
huge.
If you're wondering right here, this is one of the tweets. The amount of cheated clears in the top 100 is insane. And this is the Twitter account that was listing them all out. This is the Desert Perpetual Cheaters. Disclaimer: these placements were at the time the leaderboard is being updated. Use the PCGRs. Placement numbers are no longer accurately represented. It's clears. The PCGRs are correct. And then essentially just went down the list here on this. And you could see
once this tweet came out, man. I was attending Guardian Con over the week when this happened, and let me tell you, man, once this dropped, it went absolutely just, viral on Twitter. Like, it just absolutely just popped off within hours. It was one thing, like, in the back of your head, you're thinking, okay, maybe there's like, maybe like 10 teams doing it, 20 teams max, but not this sheer amount of cheating. Like, it's almost, like you said, 70%, that's 2/3. Like, that's just insane that we've had a situation like this. I mean, I would think, like, again, 20 teams, 30 teams, 70%. Oh my, that's just, wow. That's why we're in the situation we are. And that's why it's absolutely just all over the Destiny community, Twitter feed and Destiny news in general. It's, a hot topic.
The document here showing all the people that cheated. So this is the actual document here that's being shared around. Only top 100 below, many more than this. Oh yeah, I bet substantially more than this after that. These placements were at the time, okay, yep, being updated. I don't have all the images for these, and we're not gonna go through all these images, although we should have definitely a moment where we just do this video of shame. But these are all the teams right here. Cross. Guys, this is bad. This is really bad.
It is bad.
I don't think it's ever been this bad.
See?
This is like worse than Trials when it came back bad. Do you see how many teams here? Do you see this? Let's just run with that theoretical. Out of the 500 teams that cleared, it is being said, as more data is being uncovered, 350 of those teams were cheaters. Although yes, every single one of these people need to be banned, and not just the people that were doing the cheating, but the people that were also in the team with the cheaters. We have to acknowledge that there is a problem. We have to acknowledge that there is a major problem here. Hold on. And here's the other thing. How can Bungie, how can you have this happen during one of your most highest peak moments out of a year, but subsequently you're going to be bringing us Marathon? which is supposed to be this highly competitive extraction shooter. How am I supposed to believe that Marathon's anti-cheat is going to be better than what's here, right here in Destiny?
I mean,
Look,
spitting
man,
facts.
that's not to take away from the raid experience. I very much enjoyed the raid experience, but Bungie, I need you guys, man. I need you guys to really make an example out of this stuff. Y'all need to make an example out of this. Okay, so hold on. This is actually from Gigs right here. 260 of the 587 clears cheated so far. A lot more to go through. Our AFAIK had still had a lot more to go through. We went from the 91st when the board first came out down to 28. My question is like, this information is something that Bungie was looking at since last weekend, right? Like, I would have just banned these guys before it even went out, dude. Or just have someone, like, just literally have someone pay them to sit there. Dude, you know how many people would do this for free? I would literally do this for free, guys. I would literally sit there with the ban hammer for free every day and just comb through the data and ban people. And will we hit some innocents? Absolutely. A few will die, but majority will be guilty cheaters, right? And I think it's worth
I think Astros would do it for free.
Well, there you go, guys. That's the situation at hand right now. We have never had a situation like this. Now, this was an incredibly tough raid. This, without a doubt, it was an incredibly tough raid.
Yeah, it was.
And there were a lot of teams that got DPS checked right out the gate and could not even beat a single boss. But that still doesn't justify why people should cheat or why people should pay to have their characters carried through. I don't really understand this either, because it's like, do you just walk around? This also makes sense. I have played with people with day one clear emblems on their account. I've had people join up on me to just go run like a GM Nightfall. And can I just say, some of the shittiest players I ever played with. I mean, and look, I didn't want to say nothing. I remember specifically last year, we had someone with the Salvation's Edge emblem on them, and they joined up on us for GM. And brother, they just kept dying. They fucking sucked. The build didn't even make sense. I was like, dude, you got a Salvation's Edge clear on you, right?
Let him know,
and I think we even made a joke at the time too. I was like, did you buy that emblem? So basically, you guys, I want to hear this shit. Let me tell you something. Somebody's got to add clear. That's my job. That's what I do, man. That's what I do.
He's not wrong.
Hold on. I got 2 jobs in every raid. You know what my 2 jobs are? Add clear, damage. That's it. Those are my 2 jobs. No. Add clear, damage. And when I say damage, it's to find a strategy to do the most goddamn damage. You know what we were doing? We were ramming our dick in the blender for the first 14, 16 hours of the raid, because
blender?
No one thought to put on 100 super. What a small change. What a small change. And that made all the difference. Les, give me some fucking credit here. Give me some fucking credit here. I cannot believe I'm being called out for this. And by the way, I did do mechanics for one of the encounters. I did mechanics for one of the encounters. But let me just say, for that one encounter, we did it right. We did it right. We didn't throw a single
you did a great job, Cross.
Why am I being called out
right now?
You
did a fantastic job in the raid. Seriously, Cross did really good. He pulled his own weight, and he just...
super thing. It's single-handedly
saved our contest. Cross, bro. It's just beautiful.
That's what I'm fucking talking about. Those are my 2 jobs. No, seriously. Going into every raid, my job, research on what the best damage rotations are going to be.
True.
And add clear. That's it. Those are my 2 jobs. That's it. And you know what? I hyper focus on these 2 things. I don't care about nothing else. Look, we're not the enemy. The enemy here is the 70% of cheaters, which, by the way, it seems even worse the higher you go up the leaderboard. And I need us to all come together and demand. And look, I know it's sounding very witch hunting right now, but we should be demanding that everyone here gets banned. Everybody should be getting banned. And Bungie needs to have a system where if you have been banned from Destiny as a cheater, we gotta mark the enemy. Like, it needs to be something, dude. Like, what is something like? There needs to be something that everywhere. I mean, even I almost just want to put a damn nutsack right on their forehead.
Oh my God!
Just like sits there and just stapled to their forehead everywhere they go. They just
I think
got
the wall
a
of
pair of balls
shame would have been better.
In their face. But there needs to be something that
he said it, not me.
When we see that character, we know that's a cheater. You know what I mean? Can you check Team 112? Look, give me the image of Team 112. I'm being told it's hilarious. All right, chat, let's look up some of these teams real quick. Some images being dropped here. What a legitimate clear. I mean, look, obviously, I've never looked at an anti-cheat program. But, like, how does this not send off any alarm bells? 1,500 kills, 1 person. 16, 8, 7, 3, and 2 for the others.
Meat and...
But he was the ad clear guy? Brother. There's
no Ryu, Meat, and Shia right there.
You know, way. Cross, look up
really wanted that win, I guess.
Send me that one. Looks like in this picture they banned. Every one of these individuals should be banned. By the way, this guy right here, Shia, with this trials emblem, I fucking guarantee he didn't earn that shit either. This is not these guys' first rodeo. What am I looking at right here, Luke? Is it the 4-minute clear? Chat,
4 minutes.
for the whole fucking
Windows.
raid?
Oh my gosh.
Final boss. Still, dude. Still, it's impossible.
So if you guys don't know this,
can't
like
do-
Windows, apparently you see a lot of cheaters on PC on Windows because like I've heard, you know, that because I've matched a lot of Windows cheater. I was curious and I've asked my Twitch chat, you know, twitch.tv/purechill, why are they always on Windows nowadays? And what I got with majority response was that apparently it's easier for those cheaters to share the DLC because they're on Windows, or like buy all the DLCs at once because it's cheaper on Windows. That being said, that's kind of like why I kind of tend to, you know, have my guard up when I match somebody in trials on Windows. You know, I try to look them up on Trials Report, you know, just to double check, you know, and kind of sucks that we're at that point in Destiny where you have to look everyone up in trials, but I mean, now we got to look people up in the raids going forward. So I mean, now you know how trial streamers feel.
The boss in 4 fucking minutes. Well, it's literally impossible to do. You cannot do it in 4 minutes. Chad, any other teams you want us to look at before we move on? Look at your clear. What are you guys trying to accuse me of cheating? Yeah, we cheated. We decided
how many ads did you kill?
We decided to just stay up for 40 hours just to throw you guys off. Just to throw you off the scent. What an elaborate play. Oh my God. Hold on. So right here, hold on. There's no way. Because the other rankings said we were at 375. There's no way we went from 375 to 130, dude. You cannot tell me that is that is not even a that is an overwhelming amount of fucking cheaters. I do want to pull something up. This is going to be my moment to brag right now. Who killed the most ads? Huh? Look at that. Just a man in his glaive. You hear me? I was fucking chopping wood in that raid. Look at that. MVP, Frostbolt.
Frostbolt. I'm my
You're
goat.
MVP. Most kills. There we go, baby. There we go. Most assists. Les, thank you for your assists. Frostbolt is the best.
I'm a
KD.
Frostbolt super fan.
Frostbolt be fragging out in
Watching this
PvP
video.
and PvE.
I love Frostbolt.
Most deaths. Where's the? We figured out the fucking mechanics medal. That's Benny and Mac should be getting that one. What do these guys?
That whole
Here's
team
the thing.
went crazy.
Let me pull up this last
Shout out
team.
to
This is the one y'all wanted me to look at. This
the
was
goats.
team 481. Same guy.
Primal goats.
Honestly, Bungie just tracked this one guy down and literally just go to everyone he played with and probably ban those people.
Oh my gosh.
Another clear example. 101
That line
kills,
guy was just
3 kills,
up to no good.
0. Dude, you're not even trying to hide it. You're not even trying.
mean,
This
just,
noblesse person is literally like both of these guys rocking the emblem. Dude, can you imagine the clan comms on that? I bet they got people in their clan chat going, oh my God, you guys did it? And they were probably like, yeah, we fucking did it. We got that shit. We squeaked in right at the last minute.
Check the M's cross real quick.
What do you think, Luke? What do you want to do?
I don't know. Do we want to get the scoop or
Dude, I don't.
let it be?
Here's the thing. Why would I care? You know what I mean? Like, all right, just to give everybody a little bit of information here. We just got a message right now from someone. It says, yo, if Cross wants to ask any of us why we did it, we'd be down to talk about it, and we'll keep it super respectful. Me, Lemur, and G did like 60 plus carries of the new raid.
What?
There's no good reason.
I mean, I assume the answer is just a crap ton of money.
I mean, it's very obvious that it's just for a ton of money. I really don't want to hear it, dude.
Well, those guys
Look,
just
here's the thing, man.
actually messaging
We
me.
don't negotiate with fucking terrorists. All right?
Whoa.
There's nothing I need to hear about
Gus
this.
is just saying,
We don't
leave
negotiate
me alone.
with goddamn terrorists. I don't
Now
give a
watch
shit
this
for us. Now watch this drive. Oh,
Cross
man.
went savage mode in this
There it
video.
is, Bungie has responded. We are investigating reports of cheating with fire teams to clear the desert perpetual contest mode, breaking our code of conduct, and or cheating to complete contest difficulty or other.
While this video is going live on the channel, Bungie has already publicly said they're they're working on punishing all these people that were associated with the raid, and it's just it's a big learning lesson, and they want to make a they want to prove a point that like, hey, like this is not okay, and this is a great response from Bungie that, hey, like we're not okay with this, and we will be punished for breaking TOS, and this is what they get for cheating on the day one raid. Like, it's just, as a PvP player, I mean, I don't do the day one raids. I'm a main PvP. I have a Pantheon. I'm a Pantheon winner. Just saying. That being said, like I don't do these day ones because I enjoy watching them. 1, 2, I don't have a team that like I could play with, and then 3, I prefer not to play them. I enjoy just sit back, watch, enjoy it, you know, and enjoy the experience. And as a viewer and not a player, I definitely would prefer that. And seeing this type of situation is just mind-boggling. And at the end of the day, it is what it is. And it's all for an emblem. Like, those guys did this for an emblem. Like, 70% of those players that did do, you know, up to no good, I just did it for an emblem. Like, it's just, that's all they wanted. And at the end of the day, like, you know, people love emblems, and there's so many people in the community that absolutely adore emblems. And I've just grown past that phase of just emblems. And don't get me wrong, if I get a cool exclusive emblem, you know, every now and then, I'm like, oh, this is great, right? You know, I'm not complaining, but it's, you know, to go like this extreme is, you know, insane. I mean, for PvP, the closest we get is what, like a Bungie bounty, and like, you know, I've been in Destiny 1 Bungie bounty, like I've played against people in Destiny 1 Bungie bounties, and, you know, Destiny 2 Bungie bounties, and I've realized over the years, like, you know, it's just an emblem, and, you know, there's gonna be more emblems to be given out in the future. So I just kind of just chill with the emblem stuff, and this is all they did it for, was a freaking emblem. And don't get me wrong, like, I get it, like, you know, people go crazy over emblems, but to do this much, 70%, that is just mind-boggling to me. Like, that's insane. Like, 2/3.
Activities is a bannable offense, and players benefiting from cheating can also be subject to punishment. For details, you can visit our code of conduct. If you suspect someone has cheated, please submit a report to our contact form. Look, man, I don't care. I just want Bungie to solve this. I want Bungie to solve this. That's all. And it needs to be something that happens across the board, dude.
Slap that like button like.
Okay, so, I mean, that being said, Cross has a point. Like, you know, they need to take action, and they are taking action as we speak. To my knowledge, no one has gotten banned yet. They're all in the, you know, everything's being reviewed in the process. You know, this is all, you know, on Twitter and public responses by, I think, the Destiny 2 teams. So that being said, it's a weird situation, and you know, let me know in the comment section below, because this is one of the biggest cheater scandals we've ever had. Like, I know, like, you know, stuff has happened in the past, but this is gonna be one to remember. And yeah, let me know what you think in the comment section again, your opinion on this situation. And yeah, thank you guys for watching the video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Hey, you, thanks for making it to the end of the video. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel or keep watching. But if you guys subscribe to the channel and we get 51,000 subscribers, I'll recreate this outro wearing this pink wig. So subscribe to the channel or keep watching. Thank you.